Greetings, everyone. We are going to do an overview of Shards of Alchemy, and we are playing the Magi version, and we're also going to use it as a utility for Magic the Gathering. So Magic the Gathering is a great game, but one of its long-standing issues is with land, and so this fixes all of those land issues. And creates a slightly different format for the game, and kind of just adds another way to play it that's really fun. So first, here's the box. I've got the lid off. I've got the the turn key here, and we're going to set that at 0. If you want to track the turns, you can do that, but it's not necessary. But that is another way to play it, where if the game runs a long time, you can just get to 21 and then base your who wins on the outcome of Shards of Alchemy instead of instead of the normal loss of life magic win or whatever other magic conditions. Okay, so we'll have that, and we'll kind of do that as we go. I'll track it and see what happens. Okay, so here is the contents out of the Shards of Alchemy box. We'll set those aside. We won't need most of those. We've got the mats out here, which is effectively part of your hand. And over here, all of the land were pulled from our decks. We need it to be available in case there's things like discarding cards, that sort of thing, where you have to shuffle up your hand and put land cards back in it. Whatever else might come up. So you keep that, on hand in case it's needed, but mostly we can use these shards as our land base and work off of those. Okay, so I'm going to set it up. This tray is really handy to hold all the game parts when they're not in use. And this insert, this is a very unique thing for a game. It just, with these little magnet clips, it lets the whole thing set up immediately. It's pretty handy. And here is the deck, which has a holder to keep the cards from, the stack of cards from falling over or anything. And just put that in its place, put the strap aside, and we can begin. So, first, we're going to see who goes first. So, this is a really nice feature too, because in games that have turn-based, you got to see who's going first. Okay, so first, I pull a card off the top. It's a 6-point card. My opponent pulls the next one. It's a 1 point, so right away I know I'll be going first. A little review on card values. So you can see the black pips on the tip of the card. That's the value of that font on the interface of these cards. We'll mostly be playing to the back side of the cards, at least initially, but we can do upgrades and get access to those interfaces. Also, the circular colored discs near the value, those are what it produces. So like in lands and magic, that's what it would be producing. Okay. So we'll fill out the rest of these. There we go. All right. So we're going to be drawing mostly from discards, but we can also draw from the top of the deck. Just as in the two previous initial versions of the game, when you draw, you get something called the twist, where you can look at the top card. So we'll be using that. And there'll be a draw and a play, so that works well with the land play in Magic the Gathering. All right, let's get into it. So I'm starting. Every time you draw, you can choose whether to draw from the shared lands, or from your spells. So, and you can just do them one at a time. So I drew one card, and it looks like I've got Primal Cocoon, and a Trace of Abundance. Those are nice enhancers and land ramp. And then I got a creature. So I'm happy with that. That's a good start. In a creature-based deck, you probably want to make sure you got a creature coming. But you could just draw a bunch of land and a little bit of magic cards and, you know, see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this more interesting font here as my first one. I do like green for this deck. And I also like red. Okay, so I'm up to 5 cards at this point. Notice how the Shards of Alchemy cards, the shards, go to this mat. They're effectively in your hand, but this way they have their own place on the board, and you don't have to try to hold everything. Okay, so that's 2. As things get drawn, new cards fall. And at some point each turn, when a card's falling, you can switch it with one you have in your mat. So that's especially useful if there's a gold on the deck. Okay, so I've got a red and a green. I'm looking pretty good there. I think I'll grab one more green. All right, this is coming down. I'm not really interested in these other colors. If I wanted that gold, I could trade for it. That would use one of my draw actions. So I'd rather have more cards. So I think I'll go with those 3 and maybe take one more card from my deck. Okay, so I'm set. My opponent's doing the same process. He drew a few cards. He's just gonna show you what he's got going on over there. And he drew a few spells, and now he's drawing his land. I believe his deck likes blue, black, and some white. So he's grabbing those. And if we were both using the same colors, there's enough available that that we could still play it, no problem. And it's kind of fun to fight over those lands a little bit anyway. Okay, so he's got a red that's also a blue-black, so that's a nice find for him. So it can be upgraded to a blue-black. If I found the red that, or found the shard that had the face that was green and red, that would be a nice one for me. Okay, so he did all his draws. I will do my first turn. We're just playing a 2-player MTG game, so I won't be doing a draw. I'll just do regular play. Let's see. I think I can definitely play something immediately. I could play a gray for a land from discard all the way into the field, because that's how gray operates in shards. And so basically it skips having to play it from your hand. You could just go all the way there, because gray can only pay for gray. But I do have a creature I can bring out, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play a land, this red one, and then I'll tap it. And I'm putting out a Karplusan Wolverine. This is a snow creature. It's a beast. It's a 1/1 for red. Whenever Karplusan Wolverine becomes blocked, you may have it deal 1 damage to target creature or player. So that's a pretty handy one for 1 mana. And I am done. Pass it to my opponent. He is doing another spell draw. Okay. He is playing a blue land, and he's done. Okay, great. So I'm going to do something similar. I'll do a spell draw as well. Okay, some fun stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play one of these gray lands. Let the next card fall. And I'm not going to do any other spell actions this turn. I'm just doing a little bit of a build-up. So then it goes to my opponent. By the way, we have these life counters that go 0 to 20, and then you can flip them over to, let's set that correctly, 0 to 20, and then up to 40 on the other side. And we're playing a variation of this where we start with 30 life, but when we play uncommons, it'll reduce the life total by 2. There's my opponent's card. It's a Vidalcan Ghoul. When it becomes blocked, defending player loses 4 life. So similar to my Wolverine in a way. Okay, and so every time we play an uncommon, we'll set our life total to, we'll reduce it by 2, and if we play a rare, we'll reduce it by 4. And if we play a mythic rare, we'll reduce it by 8. So that means there's not going to be a lot of non-commons in the deck. The idea with this variant is that we're trying to get, emphasize the use of common cards and just make a deck that's not super expensive, but gets at a lot of those cards that don't see play normally. Okay, so back to me. So I'm going to go ahead and play, well, let's do a draw first, shall we? I will draw a card. I'll play a land, and then I'm going to tap both of these. Okay, go ahead and set it up normally. There you go. Tap both of these to play a Trace of Abundance. And I'm going to put it on my gray land here to make it a little more interesting. So now, when this land is tapped for mana, I can add 1 mana of any color. So that's helpful. So that gray now just got upgraded. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, your creature, remind me, does it do 4 damage to the player if it's blocked? Oh, okay. That's good. I'm thinking about doing something. You know what? I'm just going to attack, because if you block me, I believe your creature just dies, but and I can apply 1 point of damage to either you or a creature. But yours only works if you attack me. So I'll do 1 damage to you. Okay. It's just 1. No big deal. Alright, so let's see what he does this time. Oh, and we've played, let's see, let's catch up here. We've played 4 turns at this point. Okay, fair is fair. Take 1. He's putting out a Stormblade. If there's another multicolored creature, I believe that one has flying.
Oh, yes. Hitting you for 2 then.
Well, this one gets bigger, but...
Oh, right.
Yep, yep. Okay, so I'm tapping. I'll draw a spell. Oops, just 1. There we go. And So what is that guy now?
He's a 3/2 flyer.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Okay. I'll put this out. And I will make all these green. And I'll put out a leatherback Baloth. It's a 4/5. And I'll go ahead and attack you with this one.
Okay. More damage, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Untap. Upkeep and draw. Okay. Lands. Tap all 4 my lands. Put Helm of the Gaslit on this guy. So now he's a 5/4 flyer. And so I'll hit you for 5 damage, draw a card, and force you to discard.
Okay. I can choose my discard.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll just discard this. Actually, no, let me see. I like that.
And I'll hit you.
Yeah, I'll discard that.
You can choose to block this ghoul or not as well.
What
You
is
would
it?
lose 4 additional life if you block
What is its stats?
1/1, but if you block it, you lose 4 life.
Okay, I'll block it.
So you lose 9 life total.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The thing is, that deck can like ramp up those little guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so I killed one of his creatures. I took some damage. I had to discard a card, and I'm untapping.
Down to 20.
Yeah, flip it over. There we go. So I'm at 20. There we go. Okay, so I will. I think I want another land. So I think, let's see. Yeah, I'll just play this as a land. And I'll draw a spell. Draw a spell, play a land. It's a gray land, so that's nice. And then give it its own little spot here. Let's see. So that guy's gonna be the death of me with that enchantment on him, so I'd better do something about it. I'll go ahead and do 1 green and 4 others and do Primeval Light, and I'll destroy his enchantment. Okay. And then I will... that's all my mana, so I won't be playing anything else. But I can hit him for... yeah, I'll hit him for another point of damage. And I'll keep this up as a blocker.
But that guy doesn't have reach.
True enough. But that guy's not flying right now either.
Yes. Soon will be. Alright, my turn. Untap. Upkeep. Draw.
Oh, so I did have 1 mana left. Okay, I'll just leave that up. Because this adds a mana, so it makes both a gray and whatever color I like. Okay, so he's untapping.
I'm gonna put out this crazy badass horror creature.
Yep.
And then hit you for 3 in the air.
Okay, good. Got it. Good. Let me just read this really quickly. Won't matter too much. Okay, so it has an unearth. You can bring it back from his graveyard. It's a 4/3. Alright, so I will back to me, untap everything. I feel like I really need more land. So let's see at this point. Yeah. So I want that. I guess I'm going to have to get one additional land. So I'll just draw whatever. I'm not going to go for this gold because I want to actually add to my land. So one thing you can do, so you're doing a draw for land, right? You draw the land to your mat. The next card to fall, you can look at it because sometimes the interface is different and decide to switch it with one you already have on your mat. So typically, I would switch it, with this one, put this one back instead and keep the gold, which is a good way. Gold can be used for any color, okay? But to get gold into play, I would have to switch for one of my lands, and I want to add to my land. So I'm actually just going to take this card, leave the gold there, and then play that land. Okay, so that lets me do a couple of things. Let's see. So I like that. I think I'll do this first. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Okay. And I'm going to put out a Wirewood Savage. It's a 2/2 elf that gives me a card draw every time I put a beast into play. So that's handy. And then... Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, I revealed that, but I'm actually instead... I'm going to put alpha status on my Karplusan Wolverine. So at this point, it gets +2/+2 for each other creature in play. So it's now a 3/3. And then I will also play Feral Contest as a sorcery. So this creature gets a +1/+1 counter. I'll just use this dice here. So now it's a 5/6, and a target creature must block it this turn. I'm going to attack with both of these. This creature has to block it. So it'll send that to the graveyard.
And then I take 3 from the other one.
Yep, you take 3 from the other guy as well.
No big deal, because I can unearth this guy.
Yeah, you can, but he can't attack next turn, which I really don't want to take 4 damage anytime I can help it.
Alright, so untap, upkeep, gotta decide
I'm just going to read that.
whether to draw.
Okay, yeah, if you unearth it, it has to go to the graveyard after, or removed from play afterwards. This is discarded. My opponent is set up again for his turn. He's going to do an upgrade.
Yeah, just
So show the viewers what that upgrade looked like from its original to its upgrade. Okay, so it went from a 1 red to a blue black. And then what are you going to do? Because you have to put a card back as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to take another land because you get the first 2 value in points free when you do an upgrade, but the difference above that you have to put back into your mat, basically back into your hand. So you put put one back in his hand. Okay, I think, did you tap the mana for that? What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you used all his mana.
Hit you for 3 more.
3 more in the air. Here we go. Good. Alright, so at this point, I probably have enough mana, I hope, for whatever I need. So I'm just going to draw a spell. Untapping my guys. I'll pay 1 red to put out another Karplusan Wolverine. Actually, before I do that, I'll go 1 green, a black, and a gray, and I'll put out the Wirewood Savage. And then I'll put out the Wolverine because that gives me a card draw. Okay, great. Cool. So let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3 left. All right. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. So other zombie creatures get +1/+1 and death touch. Okay, that's good. All right. I will hit. I will attack with just the Wolverine. It's a 3/3.
And any other stats besides the 3/3?
If it dies, I can inflict 1 damage where I choose.
I'll take 3.
Okay.
Tap. Nice. That's gonna really fuck you over.
Language. Ooh, interesting. All right, my opponent's thinking deeply about his move.
Another one of these.
He has to tap his mana for that.
So this one is sick.
Uh-huh.
Just flip this over to show that one's sick.
Okay, there you go. Brought another flyer, basically.
Yep. And then see if I have my. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Good. I will.
Declare attacks.
Yep. So you have
5, 6, a 2/2, and a 1/1.
hit you with 3 in the air, and then 1 on the ground. Actually, this is 2 on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And if you block it, you will lose 5 life.
Okay, I'll take 5 for now. 2, 3, 4, 5. These little life counters are very handy, and if somebody's running poison, they have a little dial on the side here for poison counters too.
I will pass the turn. Note that I have lots of untapped mana.
I gotcha. He's got some trickiness. Okay, so I will draw a card. To destroy them, you may have it. Okay. Weird one. Alright, so let's see. 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I'll tap my mana. And I'll bring out Gruul Rage Beast.
Oh, I see you're trying to bring out a creature. I have a response.
Mm-hmm.
Tapping for 3 mana, and my soul manipulation makes that creature go to your graveyard, and I get to draw a creature from my graveyard.
Okay, so this goes to my graveyard. Alright. And then... yeah, very good. So then I will attack with... Let's see, this untaps. I will attack with... this and this. So that's a 5, 6, and a 1/1.
Okay, I might have first I'm gonna do Dream Salvage, so I get to draw cards equal to the number of cards you've discarded this turn. So that was 1.
Yep.
And so you're attacking with a 5. Okay, you're attacking with a 5 and a 1.
5, 6, and a 1/1, which I can apply damage to when you block.
5, 6, and a 1/1. Just take 6.
Okay.
I think you're gonna lose before I do.
I might.
Okay, so I'm down to 15 and you're down to 9.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Okay.
Have you played any non-commons?
Oh, you're right. This guy was a... Is that silver? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 additional.
And so is this dream thing, so that's another 2.
I'm down to 11.
Okay.
Excellent. And tapping. Alright. You're gonna have to use some stuff.
No doubt.
Alright. Now, I think I want more mana. So I'll get some more blue mana out. And, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana that I can tap.
Okay. Make sure you tap it before you play anything. Very good.
I'm going to tap 6 mana, and I'll play 2 more creatures, Lich Lord and a Diregraph.
Okay. Alright. They're not going to be able to see those unless you put them. Yeah, there you go. For the viewers, there we go. Good.
And so now I have 2 of these. Oh, that cost me 2 life for this.
And 6 life for that.
6, so 6 total.
6 total.
Yep.
4, 5, 6. Yep.
Okay, so now I'm down to 5 life.
All right.
I may have just killed myself with all this life, but these are each 4 in the air, so that's.
Why are they 4 in
so
there?
They're 3 in the air total.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's 6 in the air,
Sure.
and then 1 on the ground, so that's 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy gets an extra +1/+1 from the zombie, so that's that'll be 9 total. So you can't let everything come through. You're gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm
block
at.
something, and the only option is to block this Diregraph Captain,
Sure.
which has Death Touch. So
9. Okay. So, and this is giving. This new one is also doing the death touch thing.
yes,
Okay. I will block.
you have to block that one.
Yeah, I'll block that one with my Wolverine. This Wolverine.
Yep. So that dies.
Okay. They both die.
You lose
7. So I'm down to 2. Okay. So let's see. Untapping. All right. It's not looking good for the beasts. Let's get those guys out. All right. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if I tap everything, I can play. These are both commons. I can play a Blastoderm.
And sorry, you're down to 1 life because of this rule. Whenever another zombie you control dies,
Okay,
target opponent loses 1 life.
got it. And let's see, I'll keep that up. So I'm playing Blastoderm. As I play a beast, I can draw a card.
Yep.
So I will draw And then I'll play a second beast. These guys are both sick. Okay. And I'll attack with everything.
Okay, so I can let 2/2 through, and I definitely want to kill off that with the Death Touch.
Yep.
And then what is this? 1/1. So I get 1 damage from killing that,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 damage from letting that through.
I can apply the damage anywhere I want, so I'll apply it on this guy.
Okay.
Okay, so I kill this, I kill this,
Yep.
and
that dies too. So I get 3. I get 2 damage to it.
yep, you get 2 damage. Yep,
I'm
correct.
going to 3.
Alright, so... Alright, don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean,
just do it.
This is the end for you because I untap and I draw. I have all this in the air. You don't have any air defense.
No.
So I'm just gonna play a couple of beasts for fun, or a couple more creatures for fun.
Uh-huh.
Put these out as well, and then I'll hit you with everything I got. So 6 in the air, 1 on the ground.
Okay, I'll block the one on the ground, and the rest is fatal, so that's game.
Yep.
Alright guys, so there's a good example of how to play MTG using the Shards of Alchemy game as a shared land base. You can see it plays very fast. We had no land issues. If there are land issues, it's really the player's own fault because they're deciding when they draw them. And there's plenty going on here where you can get what you need. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you next time. We'll be doing more of these in the future, not only Shards of Alchemy games, but also this version of the Magi format, which I really enjoy, and so do a lot of my friends.